everybody, it's Monique. I'm back with another YouTube video. If you're new, thanks for clicking on my video. Please subscribe, I really appreciate it. My goal is to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I would love to get more than that, but that's like my realistic goal. And if you're a current subscriber, thanks for clicking back. I'm sorry that I don't put out as many videos as I was. I want to do one video a week. Like, I want to have one video uploaded every week. So that's the goal. But today I wanted to talk about hair, natural hair, curly, kinky hair. I feel like my hair videos do really well as far as like what I'm recommending for products. And just like I always get questions about my hair in general and growth and different things like that. So I kind of wanted to do like a do's and don'ts of like natural hair. This video may not be for everybody. I feel like it's what works for me. I feel like it could work for the majority if you are trying to be natural. But I know being natural can be a lot of work, and some people just don't want to put in that effort, and that's totally fine. You can do what you want with your hair. But if you're interested in going natural, being natural, and having like a natural hairstyle life, then this is the video for you. This is basically kind of like starter things. So yeah, the first thing I wrote was to create a hair routine. So when you are natural and you are starting to do your own hair, you have to have a weekly routine. I think it's the best. And that routine would include washing, conditioning, and a few other things. You have to have a really good weekly routine. Your hair will flourish the most during that time, and you definitely will see a difference in just like how much your hair is growing and how soft it is and different things like that. So create yourself a natural hair routine. Find what products works best for your hair during that routine and use those hair products, trial and error. And the reason I said that is because anything that is really good for you and your body will not be cheap. Don't get me wrong, there's always like cheaper stores and cheap versions of things, but most of the time you have to invest if you really want to see good quality out of skincare, out of lotions, out of hair care, out of furniture you purchase for your house, even out of a vehicle. You know what I mean? Like the more you invest, the better quality you get, and that goes for hair as well. So you definitely have to invest in hair products. A little does go a long way with those products, so you don't have to worry about those things being used up, and you just feel like you're always spending money. And the reason I put trial and error at the end is because when you're learning about your hair, every product that people may say that they really like or don't like, you may not have the same experience. There's tons of products that other people with natural hair love, and they don't work well for me, and vice versa. Also, you do learn your hair type, and so you know like what consistencies you need to look for, what products your hair really like and what products your hair don't, as far as natural products like different oils and different fruits and things like that they put in products. So it's definitely a lot of trial and error, but I think you do that with things in general, you know. So yeah, you will feel like you may waste money sometimes when you buy something and you just don't like it. And with that, I just say use it up and then be done with it. Or give it away to someone who does really like that brand or product. So if you know someone, just like give it to them. Protective styling in the winter months. So if you don't know what protective styling is, that is when you do not wear your hair out like I'm doing right now. You would get a sew-in, a wig installed. You would get some type of braid, whether it's French braids to the back, but we've added to it, or box braids, or twist, or whatever type of protective style you like to wear. Those are usually the best time to get those is during winter months, because it will protect your hair from the harsh cold, protect your hair from being brittle and damaged during those times, because the cold can really affect your hair. We all know that when the winter rolls around, we get extremely dry, and your hair feels that as well. So if you protect it with those styles, you can use protective styling whenever you want, but the winter months is the most important time to use protective styling, I would say. Use conditioners. So there's 3 or 4 types of conditioners, I would say. You have your standard just conditioner that you put in your hair after you shampoo and you wash it out. You also have a leave-in conditioner. You have a deep conditioner. So those are the 3 types. So with leave-in conditioners, that is something that you hence leave in, and it helps with styling, it helps with moisture, it helps with softness, and it helps your hair just flourish. With deep conditioners, that is when your hair gets the most moisture it'll ever get during the hair process, because deep conditioners penetrate your hair, and your hair is going to soak up the most they can out of those deep conditioners. Why it's called deep. Sometimes they're called hair masks as well. It's the same thing. So definitely make sure you're using your conditioners. That's probably the most important product a natural can ever use, is their conditioners. They're extremely important. Don't skip those steps when you're doing wash day, doing your routine, your weekly routine. Steaming your hair or sitting under a dryer. So when you're using deep conditioner, the best way to get the conditioner to penetrate your hair as much as possible is to use steam or dryers. So I have a sit-home dryer. I put a plastic cap over my head after I apply the conditioner, and then I sit under the dryer for about 20 to 30 minutes. Each hair mask or conditioner will tell you how long you should sit. If you don't want to sit under the dryer, you can get into the shower, and that steam will penetrate your hair. And they also have steamers that you can buy that kind of look like hooded dryers, but they're like steam. It all works the same. It's just what you want to do. But they're definitely beneficial for your hair to really get that moisture it needs from deep conditioning. Yes, stay away from heat. So even though I just said steam, it's in a different way. Your hair is wet, it's under the dryer, and it's just like opening up your hair shaft and getting that deep conditioner in. But when I'm saying stay away from heat, I'm meaning stay away from blow drying your hair, straightening your hair, and curling your hair. Any heated tools, you kind of want to stay away from those. And the reason I'm saying that is because when you first are trying to be natural, especially if you're converting from heated damaged hair or permed damaged hair, you just have to stay away from those things for a while. If you use those things frequently, your hair is going to revert back to being damaged. So you honestly just have to stay away from heat as long as possible. There's nothing wrong with straightening your hair once in a while. There's nothing wrong with blow drying it once in a while. But for the most part, if you get into a routine where that's constantly what you're doing weekly, you will notice damage in your hair. Heat just causes damage to curly hair. There's really no way around that. I mean, you can use heat protecting sprays, and that's like another one that I wrote on here. If you those times where you do want to straighten your hair or blow dry it, you need to use protective sprays because they help protect your hair. But even then, if you do that frequently, weekly, your hair is gonna start showing damage. And how you know your hair is damaged is when you wash it and you have straggly ends. That is all damaged hair. A lot of the hair cannot be revived. Sometimes you can, but for the most part, you cannot. So I know a lot of people aren't used to, like, when you go natural, you're not used to like wearing your natural hair, and it's such a learning curve. And so you just want it to be straight because that's the easiest way to like go about your day. But eventually you will learn how to do your hair and how to manage your hair and how to go about your day without it being straight. So, and that's one of those things that a lot of people struggle with, is staying away from heat. So if you want nice, healthy, natural hair, you have to stay away from heat. You really do. Stay away from chemicals. So there's a few different, you have chemicals from perms or relaxers, and you have a chemical like texturizer, and then of course like dyeing your hair, there's chemicals based in that. It's the same with heat. If you want your hair to flourish while in its natural state, you have to stay away from those things for a while. Or period, honestly, when it comes to like relaxers and stuff. Those things just don't do anything for your hair. They may look good for a little while, and it eventually damages your hair. There's nothing much more to say about it. You have to stay away from chemicals if you want your natural hair. So basically, all the things that you've been doing for your hair when it was not in its natural state, you have to stop doing those things if you want this. If you see these natural goals that you see all over Instagram, and people with really long, kinky or curly hair, and it looks healthy, and they have huge ponytails and big, afros and stuff like that. Those people don't do those things. They don't constantly perm their hair or blow dry their hair or put heat on their hair or dye their hair. They just don't. So it loves your hair texture. So everybody's hair texture is different. Even if we're all, let's say we're talking about all just African American women, like we all don't have the same hair type and hair texture. So you have to learn, like I said before, what works best for your hair type and texture. Your hair will tell you as you use products how it's gonna react to those or not. It won't. If it won't like it, you won't get like a good style that day. But you definitely have to just learn to appreciate your hair for what it is, what God gave you, and what's growing out of your head, and take care of it. I think that's another thing people struggle with. It's just like appreciating their hair and nothing else, and saying, not feeling like they have to wear a weave or it has to be straight in order for their hair to be pretty or presentable. That's something that a lot of people struggle with. So that part of going natural it's also kind of like a lot of mental things you have to struggle and get through as well, not just the physical thing with your hair. Get trims at least twice a year. So you have to get your ends trimmed regardless. You need to find someone that is really good with natural hair in general to do your hair. If people who are hairstylists who only do weaves and wigs, that may not be the best person to go to have your hair trimmed. If people only do relaxers, again, and like chemical type things, like you need to find someone that probably has natural hair themselves, honestly, to do your hair when it comes to trims or any other thing you would go for them to get. So use a silk bonnet or a silk pillowcase. So natural hair is very fragile. It's strong, but it's fragile. And so cotton absorbs all the moisture out of your hair. And sleeping on cotton pillows will just take that moisture, and over time your hair will become dry. So in order to prevent that, you sleep with a silk bonnet on your head, or a silk scarf, or silk pillowcases. And that's just to protect your hair from getting dried out and damaged from cotton, honestly. So make sure you invest in those things as well. So another thing I put is to just be gentle with your hair. Natural hair and curly hair in general, very kinky hair, tangles. That's just what it does. And when you are washing your hair during those days, it can take longer because of your hair gets tangled. You have to be careful. You cannot grab your hair and yank it and brush it and comb it very hard and vigorously. Like, you can use, they have tons of products that are great, like brushes that are really good for detangling your hair while it has conditioner, while it's wet, and to get it all ready for whatever you're gonna do with it. And you can also finger detangle. A lot of people do that. They actually prefer it more. I kind of do both. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But definitely be careful with your hair. Be gentle with your hair and take care of it. Don't be snatching your hair all off, and don't do that with anybody's hair you do. Just be gentle. It doesn't deserve that. So, and stop touching your hair throughout the week is another one. People tend to, it's just like a natural thing to just mess with your hair throughout the day. But that takes away moisture out of your hair as well. So just remember to leave your hair alone and just let it do its thing. Don't worry. Don't worry about how other people are looking at your hair and what you feel about your hair. Just learn to love it and embrace it, and you'll eventually get there. That's you eventually get over it. So I've always get a lot of questions about how long my hair is. My hair's in a ponytail now, but this is probably and in the back, I can't really show you, but my hair needs to be washed, but as you can see, my hair is pretty long. I've had it straightened before. A lot of people can't tell if you don't know much about natural hair or kinky hair in general. You may not realize that this thing called shrinkage is a thing, and it happens. You just get over it, you know, you don't care. I know I have hair, so shrinkage doesn't matter to me. Make sure your hair is not tight when you're doing those protective styles, so you can have edges, you know, these things that people always make fun of people for not having. I have edges because when I do get protective styling, I make sure I go to someone who doesn't braid like a maniac. So here that I want to show you, because I talked about creating a hair routine. So usually in your hair routine that's weekly, you want to use a combination of things. So you usually use a co-wash, unless you're taking out a protective style that's usually lasts for 1 month or longer. You use like a shampoo and conditioner. And then you'll use, of course, a leave-in conditioner, a styler, a deep conditioner / hair mask. You'll use an oil, and yeah, you use all those products. So I have a few products here. Now, one thing I didn't mention, I want to say that now. Use sulfate-free. So you should have at least one sulfate-based shampoo and sulfate-based shampoo and conditioner for when you're taking out protective styling, because you do need to strip all of the dirt out of your hair that hasn't been able to be washed in the last 2 months. It's usually how long you keep any protective style in. So you always keep one of those, but you only use that for when you're taking out protective styles. The rest of your wash products, as far as shampoo, conditioner, and co-wash, should be sulfate-free for your weekly washes, okay? So I have a deep conditioner that I've done a video on. I'll link that video down below, but this is just like an example. A lot of deep conditioners or hair masks come in packaging like this. So yeah, this is one by Kiehl's. Did a video on that. I'll link it down below. This is a cream, styling cream. A YouTuber who has gorgeous natural hair created her own line called Melanin, and this is her styling cream. This stuff I've had for a while. I think the new, I can probably order another one actually, but yeah, that's her styling cream. I don't use styling gels. They don't work well for me, so I use creams, but they do have styling gels and creams. So you just have to figure out how your hair will be with using those. I also have the Melanin oil, and this oil has tons of different oils in it. I also have like a giant like almond and avocado oil. You don't have to have a mixture of oils. If you want to, you can. You can mix your own oils. You can order them from Amazon or go to like a Whole Foods or a Fresh Time and buy all the different oils and mix them, as long as you have a really good one. They all are beneficial and do different things. But definitely incorporate an oil for your scalp and your hair. This is a co-wash, leave-in, and detangler. So this is the co-wash I'm going to start using. This brand is really good. I've never used this particular product by them, but most of the stuff I've used by them has been excellent. And then this is a leave-in conditioner by Melanin. Really good. It smells minty. So I would recommend her products for sure if you want to support like a black-owned business. Melanin is really good. The main choice isn't black-owned, and neither is Kiehl's, but the products are really good. I have tons of like hair product reviews and me doing my hair as well, like videos, so I can leave all those hair related videos down below in the description box. And that is it for this video. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys learned something. This video is definitely just not for people who have hair that looks like mine. If you have curly hair in general, a lot of these tips can work well for you. If you are a person that has children who don't look like you may have adopted a kid that's like black or African or something, this can be a very helpful video. If you have like mixed children and you don't know what to do with their hair, different things like that. So yeah, I'll leave all those videos linked down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.